Okay, so first we'll use this ideally to make this program. So I'm taking a number from user using input method, right? Because we know by default whatever is entered from the console that is in string format. So we will need to use int method in order to convert it into integer so that any mathematical calculation can be performed. Then we have to calculate the factorial of the number. So for that purpose, I'm creating a variable factorial which will store the final factorial value, and initially I am initializing it with the value 1. Then we'll use for loop, or we should go with while loop. While num is greater than 0, because we cannot go till 0, otherwise the final result will become 0. Then we have to reduce the value of number by 1, and at last we have to print value of factorial. So if we run the program here, let's say, okay, so I'm in 5 and it is giving factorial 5, 120. But if we want to visualize this, how it is working, so I'll use one online tool for this purpose. And let me show you how that tool works. So this is the tool called as Python Visualizer on pythontutor.com. So anybody can use it. It is free of cost, and it is an online tool. So just paste your code here so you can see. You can visualize the code from Python, JavaScript, C++, and Java as well. Here you can select which particular version of Python or any other language you want to use. So I am using the latest version of Python, that is 3.11, and then click on visualize execution. So it will start visualization. Just wait for a second. Okay, so here it shows your code is running. So initially it is showing the first line is being executed by this red arrow. Okay, and here it is asking for the input. Again, I am giving the same input as 5 and clicking on submit. Then you can see what happens next. This arrow is going to the next line, which is being executed right now. And when I have entered 5, so here you can see a frame is created. Okay, so that is a kind of variable, or you can say a location where 5 is being stored. Let's click on next to go to the next step. Then we are moving to fact. That fact became 1 due to this line, and then the next line which will be executed, that is the while line. Okay, here the green shows the line just got executed, and red shows the line which will be executed next. Click on next. While is being executed. And finally, in the same way, if you see that finally we got the factorial 120 one by one. If you see, when the value was 1, so one by one the value is being decreased, and you are getting the factorial. If directly you want to see the last output, you can click on last, so you'll get this output as factorial as 120, and then it is being printed. So this is the tool by which you can visualize the execution of code, how the flow is working.